Welcome to Moving Panels, Ignite the Mic. From Gotham's alleys to galaxy's far, we dive in deep, we set the bar. Debates and takes, we bring the heat. Pull up a chair, join a seat. Moving Panels, where fandom takes flight. We review, discuss, and shed the light. Heroes, villains, every epic night. This is your show, your fandom's might.
Welcome to this Moving Panels One Shot. Let's have a nerdy little conversation. It is March Madness time here at Moving Panels. And this year we're talking about villains. It's a whole month of villains. We're looking at some villain movies. We've got the Suicide Squad coming up. We're going to talk about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which has a lot of Spider-Man villains in it. We got all that coming up. We'll have another one shot in here where we talk about some of the more memorable villains. But as always, it's March Madness. We're talking brackets. We're going to set up a bracket, and we're going to determine who we think the best villain is. So joining with me to do this is the people who are typically with me to talk about brackets. First off, from the 80s Flick Flashback, it's Tim Williams.
Wait till they get a load of me.
Maybe a hint as to a villain you're wanting to put on this bracket?
Of course.
Of course. And
Glad
of course, we can't talk about brackets without the bracketologist. Like, what's a name for you? Like, we need to come up with a name. But please welcome from Pop Culture Roulette, Nicholas Pepin.
The bracket light has been illuminated.
There you
go.
go.
I have shown up.
Answered the call.
I've answered the call. I believe ESPN refers to them as bracketologists.
That's what I was thinking.
Nice.
I was like, I can't. The word's not coming out of my mouth. Like, I know I've heard it. All right. Well, again, what we're gonna do this year is, in this one shot, instead of doing the full bracket, we're just going to set it up. And then it will be voted on by you through social media. Go and check that out. And because it will be posted at this point. We're going to start with 16 villains. So that's what we're doing in this episode. We're going to pick 16 villains to put onto this list. You will then go online and vote. Then we are going to come back at the end of the month once we're down to the final four. And the three of us will decide the best villain based off of that final four that you, the listener, has narrowed it down to. So we got to talk about how we're going to do this. So I made a list. I've got my 16. I'm sure both of you have a list. Mm-hmm. My first thought is that we can go around talking about who we think should be on the list. And we're actually doing adaptation characters. So we're doing characters from movies and TV shows. We're not just talking about the comics. That's just a little too general. Mm-hmm. So we're honing in on the best, kind of almost really the best performances, the best adapted character. So you could potentially have a couple of the same characters just played by different actors. Mm-hmm. But I think the best way to do this is if anybody appears on all of our lists. So like if I mention somebody and both of you go, yeah, I was thinking that too, then they're just automatically in. Mm-hmm. Would be my guess. But I do have a question. Do we want to stick this to live action or do we want to throw in animated?
I didn't really have any animated on my list.
Okay.
I had to rearrange my list a little after you had given me the sticking it to the the
adaptations.
But when I was writing the list, I was generally speaking thinking of live action. Yes, I have not watched as much of the animated stuff as other people have.
Same.
That's okay. Yeah. That's okay. And I'm totally fine with that. I think sticking with live action is better because honestly, when you also get into animation, kind of run into a similar issue as if we're just talking comics. There's ebbs and flows. Mark Hamill's Joker would probably be in there the conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll stick to live action, but let's just go ahead and jump into this. And I think I've got who was my number one, the first person I thought of, and I think they're going to end up going into the list. So I'll just go ahead and throw that out. Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah.
Yep. Top of my list as well.
Yeah. So Heath Ledger's Joker automatically going in. I don't think, he redefined what a live action comic book villain would be. Mm-hmm. And it's just, he's pure chaos. It's a great character. There's no doubt him being number one is not debatable because we'll also decide how we want to seed them once we get our 16. I think he's number one, period. I don't think we're going to we'll have anybody who is going to contend with that. So, Tim, you want to give one of yours, and we'll see. We'll talk about them.
Yeah, well, since I'll just go to my next one on number 2, which I think will probably be pretty high on everybody's list as well. I'm going Thanos, Josh Brolin from the Avengers.
Okay, yeah. Also on my list.
Yeah, and Thanos was number 2 on my list. So, so there we go. It's going to be so funny if we have almost identical
the exact
lists.
same list.
I think I will tell you, I've got some people on my list you're not going to have.
Probably. I think you've seen more than I have. So.
Well, but I also wanted to have some fun with it too.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So I went there as well. But yeah, no, Thanos, I mean, staple of the MCU, especially in those first few, that first phase. And
yeah.
Yeah, really, we've never had a villain on that scale before.
Exactly.
And that's definitely why. All right, Nicholas, how about you? Who you want to throw out?
Well, see, here's the thing. I wrote my list. I wrote it in 3 categories. I wrote Marvel, DC, and other. And I just kind of, as I was writing it, I was thinking comic books.
Yeah, I understand.
So I had to go through and cross out a few because I'm like, yeah, they were bad in live action or haven't made it to live action just yet. But one of the first Marvel villains I thought of was Norman Osborn.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, obviously in the comic books he's way bigger and way more villainous, but the Sam Raimi, movies, his performance in those is why am I? Man, I'm blanking on the name.
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe. I was trying to remember the How I Met Your Mother joke. But yeah, no, Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin really kind of set the stage for like doing the villains for comics. So that was where I had put him on my list.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, he was on my list as well. He's a little bit further down. He was number 8 on my list, but he was on my list.
Mm-hmm. He was in my top 10 as well.
Okay. Yep. Look at that. So, yeah. No, I kind of agree with what you said, Nicholas. Yeah, it's kind of he's kind of a legacy villain when it comes to these adaptation movies, since he was in one of the first with that Spider-Man movie. But man, they bring him back in No Way Home and just as good.
Yeah, he just didn't skip a beat at all.
Yeah. All right. Well, next on my list is Vincent D'Onofrio's Wilson Fisk.
Yeah.
Kingpin.
Yep.
That's on my list. It's a little further down, but he's on my list.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, I have always claimed that Daredevil is one of my favorites, so a little bit of probably bias on my end, but
yeah, and I wondered if I'd put him pretty high because I'm actually watching Daredevil season 2 right now, so I was like, I'm sure that's swaying my voting a little bit right now where I'm putting him on the list, but yeah, he was in my top 10 as well. So
yeah, and it wasn't that long ago that we just covered Daredevil season 1 for the show. And so, yeah, I mean, as I talked about in that episode, just the performance D'Onofrio gives, he brings that humanity to this horrible, horrible person. It becomes more. He makes the character where it's more depth. It's a masterclass in long-term storytelling for a villain, which I got another one on here for almost that same reason. But yeah, all right. So we got Kingpin. So dang, we're knocking it out. We got our first 4. Already, so let's change it up a little bit. Nicholas, how about you?
Let's get away from Marvel and DC for a second. Let's go to the first one on my other list, Ozymandias.
Okay, I considered Ozymandias, but he ended up not making my list.
Okay.
So how about you, Tim?
I don't know who that is.
Have you not watched The Watchmen?
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm just not as. It's not one that I've seen as many times to know the characters well enough. But okay, gotcha. I'm with you there.
So
again, I might have put him more on the list because I was thinking about comic books. But I mean, the movie was really good, and Matthew Good did a really well. Just to repeat myself, good job.
Yeah. So you'd prefer the good, and I'm saying good as in his last name. His portrayal more so than from the TV show.
I never watched the TV show.
You didn't watch that? Okay. Okay. Well, I'll put him down, but it looks like he'll have to be considered because he'll be the first one that we haven't agreed on. But it's the first one. You never know. He could end up making it, but he'll be considered later. All right, Tim, how about you? Who'd you got next?
I'm going to pull away from Marvel and DC as well, and I'm going to go Homelander from The Boys, Anthony Starr.
Homelander did make my list. So he was, let's see, where did I have him on my list? He was, there he is. He's number 9 on my list.
Yeah, he's like 7 on mine.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I didn't write him down, but I should have.
Okay.
I figured that was going to happen. They'd be like, oh man, why didn't I think of that one? So yeah, I'm sure that's going to happen too.
Yeah, and I think with him, he's one of those villains that it's not just that he's evil, he's terrifying.
Yes.
And kind of almost in a similar but completely different way than I said with Kingpin.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Like they're very similar in the sense of like the duality of their personality. They both do that really well.
And I can't wait for that final season to come out so we can see how does it end like the comic book. That's going to be the big story. Well, so I will go ahead and place Homelander above Ozymandias, since 2 of us did have him on the list, and Nicholas saying that he would have considered it. Mm-hmm. All right, and again, just to shuffle it up again, I'll let Nicholas go again.
Oh, man, I'm going to look through this list here because I had a couple on here for other reasons. Let's see. Let's go. Oh, Dr. Octopus.
Yeah, Alfred Molina.
Alfred Molina.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Nope. He was number 12 on my list. Did he make yours, Tim?
Yeah, he was actually in my top 10, so he was number 9 for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with that. Yeah. Again, I think he's probably one of the best in terms of being portrayed in live action, one of those best like tragic villains. Mm-hmm. I've always talked about how much I love Mr. Freeze in the Batman animated series as that tragic villain.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Dr. Octopus, I mean, it's an amazing performance from Alfred Molina, even when he returned in No Way Home.
Yeah.
100% on that one. So I will put him above Homelander. And then I'm just going down my list. So, so the next person on my list is Eric Killmonger.
Yeah.
Michael
He's
B.
on
Jordan.
my list.
I didn't have him on my list. I mean, I do like him.
Yeah.
I think I didn't put him on the list because again I was thinking differently, but like the fact that he was a one and done character kind of. Maybe
I can
but
see that.
he was really good and really, you know, that Black Panther movie was really good and well done. So I would not be opposed to him being on the list.
I will say the reason why he's even so high on my list is I think as I've always said makes a good villain is when they believe that what they're doing is right.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm actually, this might be a hot take. I'm going to go ahead and say it. He ain't wrong in what he says. He just is unwilling. You know, he just goes about it in the wrong way.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
The intention versus action. So
yes.
But yeah, he was further down on he was not in my top 10, but I think kind of the reason that Nicholas said, because he is kind of a one and done character. Like we don't see him as much, even though he did come back for like a little cameo in Wakanda Forever. But still his presence was so strong and such a strong villain character in the first Black Panther movie. I mean, people were upset that he died. Like they wanted him to come back as an ongoing villain. So.
Well, I mean, you know, had we maybe known what would have happened,
exactly, yeah,
they probably wouldn't have killed him off. Mm-hmm. Although, you know, the fact that he just fell into a dark abyss. Yeah,
there's always that.
You can retcon it some way.
Yeah.
Well, in comics, NERD, no one ever really dies unless you're Uncle Ben.
Unless you're Uncle Ben. But in Wakanda Forever, they solidified that he's dead.
He was dead,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
but in that universe. But we'll that's a we'll
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, because
hey, look, it's still the best comic. It's still the best comic book character that Michael B. Jordan's ever played.
I can guess that's 100% correct.
Yes, because there's a character that I had written down on my list that maybe by the end of the year will show up on these lists, but as of right now, not gonna make it.
Yeah.
All right, Tim, how about you? Who you got next?
Someone who is in my top 10, and I'm surprised you guys have not mentioned, but Magneto, Ian McKellen from
He was actually coming up for me.
Yeah, so. And it was kind of tough because I do like Michael Fassbender's interpretation, but because Ian McKellen was first, he's just trying to stay in line with that interpretation. So Ian gets to be on the list for me.
When I picture Magneto, I picture Ian McKellen. I do not picture Michael Fassbender.
Right.
He is fourth on my Marvel list.
Okay, so he made all three of our lists because he's, like I said, he was coming up on mine. So I'll put him up a little bit higher. All right, and I'm just going to go in, since we're on the topic, I'm going to say I did put on my list, a little bit further down, but I did put on my list Michael Fassbender's Magneto.
Yeah.
I think both of them had done a tremendous job.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Ian McKellen is the more... recognizable.
Should be ranked higher. Yeah.
Yes, but when you update the character, when you have to restart, make him younger, I think Fassbender did a great job. I like that we got to see him as a younger man, so we got to see him, a lot more of that emotional anger that he has built in. I think Fassbender brought that out probably a little bit more than McClellan did. So, yes, same ideology in the character. I know they're technically supposed to be the same person, even in that universe, but I think it's a different execution, and so I put him separately. So, what are your thoughts on adding Fassbender to the list?
Yeah, I think right now I'm satisfied with just leaving it as Ian McKellen.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. I think there's other villains that I think deserve to be in the top 16. But we'll see as we get there.
It's a fair argument. I will put him at the bottom of the list for now. So we've got 10 in that we've discussed. Let's move on, and I'll go ahead and jump in with my next one. Kind of following suit with Thanos, you really wouldn't have the MCU where you have without Loki.
Yeah.
So I do have Loki on my list. I mean, I know he kind of later within his show and kind of in the movies, he more becomes an anti-hero. But I still think that, the way he started and the resentment he had towards Thor, and I mean, they made him very emotionally complex, which is what I always appreciate in a good villain. So, and the fact that he has this longevity in the movies, even into the series, which very few villains. I mean, we just talked about the, Killmonger being one and done, but yet Loki has outlasted almost all the villains. So I got Tom Hiddleston's Loki on my list. So what do we think about adding him?
He's much further down on my list, and this is a hot take for me. I've never been like a super fan. Loki's okay, but I've never been like the biggest fan of Loki, and I think that's because of that. I loved him in the first Thor, but then when he became more like, oh, we like him so much, we're going to make him not completely bad, but a little bit of good too, that it's always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So I don't mind him being on the list based on the first Thor movie, but as his character's evolved, I'm not sure he's quite the villain to be on a list like this, but I'm not. I want to pose it. Just not going to be high on my list.
I did not include Loki on my list solely because he became more of because of what he became, almost immediately after the first movie. Even within the Thor series, becoming almost an ally, or even into Loki season 1, season 2, definitely becoming a hero. So that's why, and again, going with the comics, him being whatever suits his needs, or I guess whatever suits the writer's needs, whether he's a villain or a hero, So Norman Osborn is pretty much always the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And where Loki kind of flirts with that line. So I didn't include him. Not to say that he wasn't really good in his first appearances, but
All right. Well, Nicholas, who you got next?
you know what? I'm surprised you haven't brought him up yet, so I'm going to. Gene Hackman, Lex Luthor.
So I'm just going to go and say I have a Lex Luthor on my list, and it's not Gene Hackman.
I was going to say the same thing. Like, if you're going to ask me, I was actually going to go, that was going to go with Michael Rosenbaum's
I went with
Lex
Michael
Luthor from
Rosenbaum
Smallville.
as Lex Luthor.
I love Gene Hackman. Of course, that's the first Lex Luthor that I know, but it's hard not to put Rosenbaum over him just because the longevity of the show and giving him much more of a character to really develop. So
I went with Rosenbaum over Hackman because Rosenbaum, I think in Smallville was more of a villain, if you know what I mean by that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like Hackman, yes, he was the villain, but it was still that kind of campiness to the character.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just think that if I was picking, and I've always said, I think Rosenbaum is my favorite Lex Luthor. He's more of a complete villain.
Mm-hmm.
Is more of where I'm going with.
I mean, with risk of getting me kicked off all future episodes of the podcast, I've never seen an episode of Smallville.
Oh yeah, dude. You're good. I can rope you into seeing some of those.
I have the first season. So Microsoft gave me the first season on digital. So one of these days I'll get around to watching it. But I want Lex Luthor on the list, so I guess we'll just go with Rosenbaum. You know.
Well, you know, I'll still throw Hackman up there for discussion when we're narrowing it down, because right now we've only got 13 people on our list, so he'll still be in the discussion for now. But yeah, we'll go ahead and move Lex Luthor on there twice. Once as Michael Rosenbaum and once as Gene Hackman. So, all right, Tim, who you got next?
All right, sticking with TV adaptations, and hopefully you guys saw the show, but I'm going with Colin Farrell's The Penguin.
Okay, I have not seen the show.
Okay,
I
was worried that was going to happen.
Yeah,
I
only know him from the movie.
I have not seen the show. I hated that movie, so I cannot bring myself to watch the show.
I'll be honest. I was not going to watch the show because I wasn't as big of a fan of the movie. I mean, I think we talked about the movie on Lemry's podcast when it first came out. It was a great first watch, but the more you thought about it, the more holes that we found in it.
Yeah.
Somebody else actually told me, like, you've got to watch the show. The show is really good.
I've heard the show's really good.
And once I actually watched it, I was completely hooked and will watch however many more seasons they put on there. If it doesn't make the list, it's okay. But if I will encourage you guys to watch it, and then maybe if we ever do something similar later, he'll make the list. But he won an Emmy for a reason, so it was good.
I've heard I still, even though I've only seen him in the movie, like I would never have been able to tell you that was Colin Farrell.
Right.
That still amazes me. And we jokingly talked about this with Michael B. Jordan. Probably the best comic book character Colin Farrell's played.
Yeah, for sure.
As much as I love the Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
So.
That version of Bullseye will not make the list.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and jump back in because this is where I thought you were about to go.
Okay.
You said TV. And I'm going to give one that this is the only one left. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is the only one left on my list that's from TV. Mm-hmm. And I went Negan from The Walking Dead.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Walking Dead wasn't even on my, but I've never watched The Walking Dead, so Negan I've seen a few episodes, but yeah.
Negan is on my list.
All right, so he's going into the 2 of our lists category up here. So a little bit higher.
All right, well, I'm going to throw out one on my list. It's probably not going to be on your list since you just said that was your other TV one. This is my only other TV one. Reverse Flash, Tom Cavanaugh from the Flash TV series.
That one is actually on my list.
Okay, well, hey, I got
that. All right, well, hey, you got 2 people. You got 2. Nicholas, you got anybody still from TV left?
Man, what do I have here? No, I don't really have anybody from TV.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, no, I'm just.
Well, who else you got?
No, I mean, let's see here. I mean, we can do a weird one and see where we want to go with it.
I got a couple of weird ones, so I'm saving those.
I don't know how, but I mean, I did put Shredder. I was thinking animated, but he was live action.
Yeah,
he was.
That's true.
A couple times they've done the live action with the Shredder. I am thinking of the one from the first movie.
Oh, not Kevin Nash as Super Shredder in Secret of Use?
Shredder's not on my list, but I'm not mad about it.
No, I'm not mad at it. He didn't make my list either. In fact, I am having to look up what the actor's name is so that we can at least give him credit. So while I'm doing that, Tim, who else you got?
This one might be another one that's kind of, I mean, we're on the kind of the bottom of my list now, but I thought, just for me, Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman from Batman Returns. I did prefer her definitely over Zoe Kravitz and even Anne Hathaway.
What about Halle Berry?
Well, we try not to talk about that version. I'm sure we'll have to talk about it on one of your worst adaptation episodes eventually.
I don't know if I truly see any version of Catwoman as the villain. Maybe villain tendencies, but
yeah,
she was pretty much the villain in Batman Returns.
Yeah,
that's why I don't think Anne Hathaway is really a Catwoman. And even Zoe Kravitz, they didn't really fulfill that full character the way I know it to be.
I mean, I will agree that Michelle Pfeiffer's version is the best live action version. Mm-hmm. So if we're going to put her on the list, that would be the one to put it on the list. But
all right, and James Sato, that is the actor's name that played Shredder. So throw that in there. All right, I'm going to throw out my last, probably recognizable one before I start getting into my wanted to see what y'all thought. And again, we're at the bottom of my list. I will say that, but I still think he was a pretty good villain, and that's Tom Hardy's Bane.
Yeah, he's on my list. Not very high, but he is on my list.
Bane is on my list. I wrote him down.
Made all three of ours. Okay.
Unfortunately for Bane as a character, not through any fault of Tom Hardy, I now think of the Alan Tudyk voiced Bane
from Harley Quinn. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I think, again, give credit to Tom Hardy, give credit to Christopher Nolan, whoever you want to do. But yeah, just the methodical version of him we get in Dark Knight Rises makes sense. Because I've never thought, I know he's better in the comics than he's usually portrayed in movies and TV shows. But I never think of Bane as a really well-defined villain. But the Tom Hardy, so I think it might make also the Tom Hardy version of him stand out so much for me. All right, Tim, who you got?
Oh, let's see. I'm going to throw up I'm an 80s guy, so I'm going Terrence Stamp as General Zod from Superman 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Even though it's definitely more in Superman 2. But
he didn't make my list, but he ended up on the cutting room floor, as I would say.
An honorable mention of your group.
It was close, but I think the same argument I had with Gene Hackman. I mean, those movies are great, but if you're talking villains, they just stayed too much in the realm of campiness.
Right.
So,
I mean,
what are your thoughts on Terrence Stamp?
I like Terrence Stamp as General Zod. I don't know if I was thinking of any particular Zod when I wrote it down, but I did write General Zod down.
But we'd agree we'd rather have Terrence Stamp over Michael Shannon?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Terrence Stamp goes on there. All right. Again, I got 3 left on my list, and they're all kind of bonkers. So, Nicholas, who else you got?
Red Skull.
Okay. Oh, that's a good one. That's one I wish I would have had on my list that I didn't think about. So
Red Skull.
We were talking about Hugo Weaving's Red Skull.
Hugo Weaving Red Skull.
Because he's not really a villain in Endgame.
No. Well, it wasn't Endgame. It was...
it's Infinity War, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't even technically Hugo Weaving.
And it wasn't Hugo Weaving.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It was just a guy who does an amazing Hugo Weaving impersonation.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to do a 2-for-1, and y'all can pick which one makes the list. So both of these are from Sin City.
Oh, another movie I didn't think about. Go ahead.
We either can go with Rourke Jr., a.k.a. the yellow... I'm not going to say the word on my podcast, but, the yellow guy. Played by Nick Stahl. Or we can go with Kevin, the character played by Elijah Wood. Who do you think was the better villain?
Kevin's the one that stands out to me more.
It's
been a long time since I saw
just
Sin City, though.
Yeah,
silent. The fact that he's just silent and
it's been a long time since I watched Sin City, but Kevin is the one that stands out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I'll agree with that. Like I said, they were my 15 and 16 because I only made a list of 16. But yeah, all right. Well, then we'll add Kevin to our list, and so that leaves me with only one more left on mine. So let's we're getting towards the end here. So Nicholas, who else you got?
Ultron, James Spader.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't have him on my list, but that is a good one.
Well, he did. Yeah, didn't have him on my list either. I will, if I'm going to say anything against him, I will make the same argument you made against Killmonger. He's a one and done.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because there's so much more you could do.
True.
But given that he's a computer program, it would be much easier to bring him back than Killmonger. Because you could just say he's been laying dormant for...
And even though it was just a voice, James Spader is just, he's great. And he's great as a villain. He's one of those that he's just so good as a villain.
I agree.
So. All right, Tim, who else you got?
All right, bottom of my list. Well, I'm sorry, I got one other. Okay, we'll do this one. Maybe only because he's so much better than the Tommy Lee Jones version. I've got Aaron Eckhart as Two-Face in The Dark Knight.
He got cut as I was making my list. He was on my list for a little bit.
See, I kept coming across, like, as I was doing my... I was like, I can't keep just writing Batman villains.
Yeah, no.
So
well, there's just so many Batman movies.
Yeah.
That's...
Right, yeah. I just was like, I can't, like, this whole list would just be Batman. Like, it was...
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't write him down because I was just like, I can't write Batman down anymore.
Yeah. All right. Nicholas, you still got anybody left? Again, like I said, I'm down to one, and I'm going to save that one.
Who do I want?
We got a list of 24 so far.
I figured we'd gone over because I was like,
oh yeah, no, I knew we would, but we'll narrow it down.
Mandarin. We just talked about him when we did Shang-Chi.
So are we talking about Trevor, or are we?
No, we're talking about the one from Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not on my list, but not bad.
All right. How about you, Tim? Who else you got?
So the last one on mine, and once again, I probably should just be an honorable mention based on everybody else we've listed that should be in the top 16, but there was a comparison for a reason. Jack Nicholson's version of the Joker would be on my list, even though it'd be not at the top, but would still be on the list. And I'm thinking like iconic, as far as like an iconic movie or TV adaptation of a villain. I mean, Nicholson brought his take to it that made it unique.
Yeah, he was another one that was on my list for a minute, and then he was the last surviving one of the ones that I would say still fall under what I've said earlier about the campiness of the character.
Oh yeah.
But he did last for a while before he got removed. So all right, so Jack Nicholson's Joker. All right, and then Nicholas, you got anybody else you want to throw out?
I mean, even though I just came out against Batman villains, Ra's al Ghul.
Okay, so the
Liam
Neeson. Again, that's another one that he was on my list for a moment. And Tim, anybody else you got?
Nah, that's my list.
All right, Nicholas, anybody else you want to throw into consideration?
Just because we haven't talked about it, and it's I mean, like, listen, like, Doctor Doom is going to be on the list if we did this next year, but he's not there yet because all the Doctor Dooms to this point have been awful. But we just got a version of Galactus that was actually really good. The one that we had that was a cloud from that terrible Silver Surfer.
You didn't
movie.
enjoy that performance by the cloud?
But I did really like the version of Galactus that we got in the new Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
Ralph Ineson, or however you pronounce his last name. Yeah. Great British actor. I'm just gonna throw him out. And actually, speaking of throwing him out, let's start talking about cutting. So, I'll just go ahead and say, I think we'll cut out Galactus. There wasn't enough of him, and it probably also still follows under a little bit of that campiness that I've been talking about. So, all right, so we've got 27 on our list, which means we got to eliminate 11, and I've already eliminated Galactus. So let's look at what I put down as the bottom 4. So the bottom 4 I have are Penguin, Colin Farrell's Penguin, Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman, James Sato's Shredder, and Elijah Wood's Kevin.
I mean, I'm good with cutting all 4. I mean,
okay.
Yeah, I think if you guys had seen the Penguin, it would be a different story, but you didn't, so it's all good.
Oh, I never told y'all my last one that I was saving.
Oh yeah, who's that?
Oh.
So let me go ahead and tell you so that we can just talk about her and then not include her on the list. But this was actually brought up by Bethany as I was making up my list. And so that is the main reason I added her. But she's a fun villain, and she is my cheesy villain on my list. And that is Fiona Good. Do y'all know the name?
I do, but I'm not placing what it's from.
Is it the Kingsman?
No. Is it Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
No. No. Cheesier than that. It is Parker Posey's character from Josie and the Pussycats.
Oh my
gosh! I do love that movie.
That would be a Bethany vote. That would be a vote, yeah.
But I mean, brainwashing through pop culture, how just even still like that's a villain they could do today, is a villain who does stuff like that. But yes, it is cheesy because obviously it's more satire in the villain aspect there. But yeah, had to at least throw her out there. But yep, she'll hit the cutting room floor. All right, let's talk about who is now our new bottom 4, because we're down to 23. We've got Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor. We've got the Mandarin, or Wen Wu, played by Tony Leung. We've got Jack Nicholson's Joker, and we've got Liam Neeson's Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, I'm okay with cutting those 4.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I want to fight for Gene Hackman,
we can keep Hackman on the list and see how he compares. We're still not to our 16 yet, so we can see how he compares.
Just for nostalgia alone,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So we want to keep Hackman just for now and see?
Just for now.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right. So we'll take out Wen Wu, or the Mandarin, Jack Nicholson's Joker, and Liam Neeson's Ra's. All right. So now, if I move above Hackman, our next 4 are Red Skull, Hugo Weaving, Aaron Eckert's Two-Face. I don't know why I put a D on that. James Spader's Ultron, and Terrence Stamp's General Zod.
I still really like Two-Face, but I'm okay if we cut him. But the other ones, I think we're okay.
I just have to say this, but he can still be cut. I asked my wife who her favorite comic book villain was before I came down here, and she was the one who said Ultron. So I had already had him on my list, but I don't I just want to make sure I get her opinion across so that
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I did the same thing. That's where I got Parker Posey from Josie and the Pussycats, and I asked my daughter Ruby too, and she actually said Scarlet Witch.
Oh,
which I considered for a while, but then kind of the same reason Nicholas had against like Loki.
Yeah.
Like, she was a hero as well as a villain, and even in the movie, she is a villain. She's heroic at the end. So, all right. Well, how about this? I will take out Red Skull, and I will take out General Zod. Excuse me. I was about to say Stamp and Zod at the same time. I will take both of those out together, and we'll leave Ultron and Two-Face to see how they stack up.
Okay.
Because we're entering our top 16 right now. So the next 4 are Fassbender's Magneto, Matthew Good's Ozymandias, Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger, and Tom Hiddleston's Loki. Now remember, we still have Ultron, Two-Face, and Lex Luthor, Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor, that are sitting on right now on the outside. And man, now I know what the college football committee feels like. So,
I would definitely cut Fassbender from that 4.
Yeah, because we already have Ian McKellen, and I think we kind of established that.
Yeah, because I would have kept Nicholson over Fassbender if we're having comparisons of villains.
All right, and we would rather have Ultron, Two-Face, and Lex Hackman's Lex over Fassbender's Magneto.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm okay with that. All right. What about Ozymandias?
I'm okay with cutting him, even though I'm the one who put him on the list, just because when I put him on the list, I had different ideas in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So I will go ahead and tell you now, we have a 16.
Okay.
So by cutting Ozymandias, we have a 16. So do we agree that Ozymandias gets cut out to bring Ultron, Two-Face, and Hackman's Luthor into the top 16?
For me, yes.
Yeah.
All right. So now we have our 16. So this is it. These are our 16. Now we just got to determine ranking. All right. So here's how I think we could go with this is we do this just one right after the other, and you tell me which one you like better.
Okay.
All right. We're not going to argue Heath Ledger is number 1, correct?
Correct.
No. All right. So we'll start with number 2. So should it be Thanos or Green Goblin?
I'd say Thanos.
Thanos.
All right. So what about Green Goblin or Kingpin? Who should be number 3?
Kingpin.
I was actually going to say Green Goblin, but I can really go. So it's up to you, Laramie.
Well, Kingpin was higher up on my initial list, so I'll say Kingpin.
Okay, I'm not mad about it.
So I got Kingpin as 3, Green Goblin as 4. So the next 2 on our list, so who should be number 5, Doc Ock or Ian McKellen's Magneto?
Doc Ock.
Yeah, Doc Ock.
All right. Next, you know what? Let's do it this way since this is the way it's going right now. Let me go back up. So Thanos or Kingpin?
Thanos.
Yeah, Thanos.
All right. Kingpin or Green Goblin?
Kingpin.
Kingpin, yeah.
All right,
Green
Green
Goblin.
Goblin.
Already? Yes.
Well, we did, but I'm going back because I'm like, it'd be a little bit more fair if I'm still using the one from before.
Right.
All right, so Green Goblin or Doc Ock?
Goblin.
Goblin.
All right, Doc Ock or Magneto?
Doc Ock.
I would go Magneto on that one.
Okay, so then I'll go based off of my initial ranking, and I did have Magneto over Doc Ock. All right, Doc Ock or Bane?
Doc Ock.
All right, Bane or Homelander?
Homelander.
Homelander.
All right, so Bane or Michael Rosenbaum's Lex Luthor?
Rosenbaum.
Bane.
All right, well then again, if I go with my list, that puts Rosenbaum over Bane. So we're still using Bane. So Bane or Negan?
Negan.
I don't know. I would go Bane just because I didn't watch Walking Dead, so it's kind of
understandable. Well, and so if we go again based off of my original list, Bane was higher. So now we're seeing where Negan places. So Negan or Reverse Flash?
Reverse Flash.
All right, so Negan or Loki?
I would go Negan.
Yeah, Negan.
Okay. Loki or Killmonger?
Killmonger.
Killmonger.
Loki or Ultron?
Loki.
I'm going to go Ultron.
All right, so again, if we go based off of my original list, that puts Loki because I didn't have Ultron on my list. All right, so Ultron or Two-Face?
Ultron.
Yeah, I'll give this one to Ultron. Yeah.
All right, and then Two-Face or Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor?
Two-Face.
Two-Face.
All right, so we have our 16. So the Joker, Thanos, Kingpin, Green Goblin, Magneto, Ian McKellen, Doc Ock, Homelander, Michael Rosenbaum's Lex Luthor, Bane, Reverse Flash, Negan, Killmonger, Loki, Ultron, Two-Face, and Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor. How do we feel about that 16?
Pretty good list.
Yeah.
Pretty solid. solid list of comic book movie and TV show villains.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Awesome. So, again, by the time you're listening to this episode, voting would have already started just to get a head start on it. But if you haven't caught that on social media, please go out and vote. And then, like I said, we'll let you narrow it down to the top 4 and then the final 4. And we will come back at the end of the month and determine who is the greatest adapted villain for movies and TV shows. So, all right. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for joining me on that. And I'm excited to see what ends up being our final 4 discussion at the end of the month.
Yeah. I'm curious to see if there's going to be. I'm curious to see the upsets. That's what I'm going to be fun to watch.
I've got some ideas, but you can never tell once you put it to the vote. So
This is true. This is true. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Before today, for Moving Panels, I'm Laramie Wells, and I'll see you on the other side of the page.